Hey, 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 hey! Welcome, welcome, welcome to another Ask Me Anything stream. I'm Rosemary, Nonny. I am the Prosperity Minister, and I support you in leaving behind the stories, the limiting stories, and the pain of the past, and rising victorious in your true design life. I do believe, without a shadow of a doubt, that prosperity is your divine right. But I also recognize that for most people, it is one thing to know it, and it's another thing to actually claim it, which would lead me to the question that someone asked today, which is all about the fact that they've learned so much about becoming more prosperous, about becoming more successful. They're into the whole self-development and personal development and spiritual development. They've been religious their whole life and they know so much about everything, but nothing seems to be working for them. And more to the point, they're getting really confused about all of the different things that they could possibly do. Oh my gosh, there's stuff everywhere. And before we do that, I don't have my guitar, but I'm going to sing at you the affirmation. Share this with someone else anyway before I get going. But the affirmation for this week, still, because I haven't changed it yet, is I'm riding the waves of plenty. I'm basking in abundant wealth. And in some ways, I'm doing this really quickly because I have a call in like less than 10 minutes. I'm riding the waves of plenty, I am riding the waves of plenty, I am riding the waves of plenty. I'm basking in abundant wealth. You can hear the music, right? I'm riding the waves of plenty, I am riding the waves of plenty, I am riding the waves of plenty. I'm basking in abundant wealth, oh, oh, I'm basking in abundant wealth, yeah, yeah, I'm basking in abundant wealth. Yeah, as I started the live stream, I realized my guitar was upstairs and I couldn't be bothered to go get it. So there you go, the affirmation for this week, right? Okay. Oh, my daughter's 13th birthday just went by. It was just so amazing. I can't believe I have a 13-year-old man. I can't believe it. Anyway, I still remember her being born. Wow. So, let's answer the question here very, 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 very quickly. I have about 5 minutes now. I wanted to break it down to the very simple brass tacks of everything we talk about here in the Deliberate Millionaire Pathway. There's a video I did recently about how to draw a vision down. You can listen to that about the 4 key principles that I like to show people how to do and all of that. But you know what? I can bring it down to even 2, to even make it simpler. If you're that person who is trying everything, you've done all the affirming and decreeing and clearing and praying and I don't know, all the stuff that we're told to do, and it's starting to get a little bit confusing. You're visualizing, you're everything, and it's starting to get a little bit confusing and you're not really getting anywhere, and it just feels like it's just some more work on top of all the other physical stuff that you already do anyway, which yes, we do need to partner our internal work with our external work, absolutely. But the 2 simple things that when it come down to simple brass tacks is this: fall in love with the divine, fall in love with yourself. Fall in love with the divine, fall in love with yourself. Fall in love with the divine, fall in love with yourself. Fall in love with the divine, fall in love with yourself. Fall in love with the divine, fall in love with yourself. Fall in love with the divine because, honey, this is the truth of the matter is you are one with the divine. You are created in the image and likeness of the divine. If you are in any way distant, I don't care what you call the divine, whether you call the universe, God, Jesus, Allah, whatever you choose to call the divine, or whatever you see or sense, it could even be your own higher self, whatever, your higher power. You sense it's something more than just your flesh and blood, right? Okay, whatever that thing is to you, you need to build some kind of relationship with it. Why? Because you are not designed to do life alone. You in your physical form, you are limited in some ways. You are powerful, no doubt about it. You are like an electric car. You came onto the planet with some kind of a charge, but at some point you run out of steam unless you plug back into source, and then you can go forever. Okay? Literally. So you need to figure out how you're going to have some kind of relationship with the divine. Now, a lot of the trouble with this is that some of y'all are born like I was. You were brought up religious. It comes with a heck of a lot of stuff that gets in the way of you just having a very pure relationship with the divine. I'm not saying religion is bad. I'm just saying that its intention was to link us back to the divine. But sometimes with us being human, there were too many rules put in place. Suddenly the rules that were supposed to free us became the rules that caged us. And you have to be able to see what is getting in the way between you and you having a nice, happy relationship with the divine and not. because that is critical to every single thing you're trying to do. So fall in love with the divine again. Come back to simplicity. The childlike inherit the kingdom. The childlike inherit the kingdom. Seriously, the childlike inherit the kingdom. Children do not know all of the rules. Children do not know what they're supposed to do and not supposed to do. And they will have the more intimate relationship with the divine if they're not taught all the nonsense that we get taught. Okay? The second thing, falling back in love with yourself. You guys, some of y'all are forcing yourself to do things that you really don't want to do. And you're telling yourself you have to because now you're an adult. Again, the childlike inherit the kingdom. You keep forcing yourself to do more and more things in a life that you really don't like. You keep doing the things that keep that life going. And you wonder why it's not prosperous. You're living the wrong life and telling yourself that you have to. That is not you falling back in love with yourself. That is not you accepting yourself. If anything, you seem to tell yourself that you cannot get the things that you desire, that somehow the divine is keeping it from you, or that it's irresponsible to think that you're allowed to have all of that. What time is it? Okay, that it's irresponsible, or whatever stories you keep telling yourself. Guys, say hello very quickly because I have to go soon. Fall in love with yourself, accept yourself, trust yourself. Actually, you know, when something doesn't feel good to you, stop forcing yourself to do it. And if I say these things, and the truth of the matter is that it took me a long time to finally strip off all of the layers long enough to recognize that I've made it far too complicated. I've always longed for a deep relationship with the divine, but I thought that in order to have that, I had to be this perfect, amazing, I don't know, hoop jumping person. So I jumped through all of the hoops as much as I possibly could until I couldn't anymore. And it's almost like as soon as you finally realize that nobody wanted you to jump through these crazy hoops in the first place. That actually the desires of your heart, the things you really want, are the things that the divine is trying to give you. And it's not even about the divine trying to give you, because it's just about you allowing these things to come through. But you're telling yourself stories. And then if you're anything like I was, and there's a lot of you, unfortunately, I listened to some of the comments on the page, and there's a lot of you, just like I was, addicted to the sad story. And the sad story is also keeping you from your good. Some of y'all are listening to me and thinking to yourself, well, you're not in my situation. Because if you were in my situation, Rosemary, then you would realize that it's not that simple for me. And there's always a great reason why it's not that simple for you. But that story is keeping you away from your good. It is that simple for you. You just refuse to allow it to be. And that's what I'm trying to get through to you, but I know that people won't hear this. And so I do things like the Abundance Library. I do things like Return Home to Peace and Plenty. I do things like, you know, Messenger of Light or Freedom Collection. All of that stuff is literally to help you strip away all the nonsense so you can return to your childlike state, to your true design, so that you can actually allow yourself to walk into the kingdom and prosper in every freaking area of your life. If you would get how simple it is supposed to be, fall in love with the divine, fall in love with yourself. Fall in love with the divine, fall in love with yourself. Gotta go, gotta go, gotta go. If you would get that, life would open up in incredible ways. I would like you to think about it. How can I fall in love with the divine without the rules? Anything that makes you feel like, oh no, I have to perform this way. It's not that. That's not the way. That's not the way. Fall in love with yourself. Anything that makes you feel like I have to do this because that's what I have to do. It's not the way. That's not the way. It's supposed to be joyous. It's supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be simple. Will you allow it to be? Okay, I've got to go. Gotta go, guys. Guys, come deeper into the deliberate millionaire world. Some of this stuff is so simple that you just can't even hear me. But I will keep telling you. Come into the deliberate millionaire world. Come into the Abundance Library. When I offer something, come in. Come work closer with me. Let me help you to see how simple it can be. But you have to make the decision to come closer in. Share this with someone else. It's been, as always, a great pleasure to hang out with you guys. Share. If you want to find out about the Abundance Library, which I kind of consider step 1, then message me through the word abundance. Share with somebody else. Much amazing love. It's such a pleasure to speak with you. I'll speak to you again soon. Bye. Go forth and prosper. It's your divine right, man. Okay. Bye.